All right, let's film this thing. This is part 5, so if you just joined us, pause this video and watch the previous episodes, which should appear over yonder. If you are following along, by now you should have made an outline, fleshed out what you're going to say, fleshed out what will be seen, and have your space set up. Now let's talk about filming this. There's tons of different ways to do this, but for this simple episode, let's cover a few common ones. First, you can memorize your lines like an actor. This can be fun and good practice, but it can take a lot of time, especially if your episode is long. Second, you can just ad-lib what you're going to say. Okay, but remember to stick with your plan. The whole purpose of the plan was to keep from forgetting things and make sure you don't blah 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 and lose your viewer. Third, you can keep your script off to the side on some paper, or computer, or a phone. You look off the camera, read a line or two, say it to the camera, read another line or two, say that to the camera, and keep doing this until you're done. If you make any mistakes, just reread the line again. The penalty for this method is chopping all these pieces together when editing and having lots of choppy cuts. These can be useful if you're trying to rip through what you're saying, as you can cut things really short. Here's an example of doing this with the battery grip episode I'll be doing. You're in the middle of shooting something, your battery runs out of power, and you have to stop everything to replace your battery. Well, that sucks. The solution is a battery grip. This nifty little device attached to your camera allows you to use 2 batteries at the same time. You're in the middle of shooting something, your battery runs out of power, and you have to stop everything to replace your battery. Well, that sucks. The solution is a battery grip. This nifty little device attached to your camera allows you to use 2 batteries at the same time. Okay, the fourth way is to use a teleprompter, also known as not a cue or an idiot board. The teleprompter is off camera and you read your lines as they scroll on the screen. There are fancy schmancy teleprompters where you can still look at the camera as the lines scroll over the lens. Some even recognize and scroll at the pace of your voice. These can cost a lot of money, so now just get a free teleprompter app for your phone. If you're gonna use a teleprompter, you should keep in mind the following. 1. Mount it next to your lens, otherwise you'll look like you're reading off something, which you are, or talking to someone off camera, and not your viewer. 2. The teleprompter text needs to be big, and the device needs to be small. If the teleprompter has a big screen and small text, your viewer will see your eyes moving back and forth while you read, and it looks weird to the viewer. That's why I suggest something like a phone and an app like PROMPTWARE, which is free. I've included the link in the show notes below. 3. It takes some practice to use a teleprompter. Your tendency at first is to look at the lens and the teleprompter. It looks weird. Just make sure the teleprompter is right next to the lens and keep reading off that. Also, the scrolling speed can be too fast or too slow. You can adjust the speed or use more space in between your lines so you can take a breath. Now, this is not an episode on teleprompters, but I thought you should be aware of what you may run into. Just remember, the more you practice, the better you'll get at it. So, back to filming this. I mentioned in an earlier episode that I would email this script to myself. Well, here's why. I decided to use a teleprompter for this episode. So, I opened the shooting plan I made on my computer, copied it all to the clipboard, pasted it into an email, cut out the insert shots and email it to me. Now I open the email on my phone, copy all the text from the email, and paste it into my teleprompter app. BAM! Now I can play the text from my teleprompter app, read it aloud over and over, make any adjustments so it's not too fast or slow. This also forces you to practice your lines and become familiar with your show script. When I feel I'm ready to shoot, I mount the phone next to my lens on this clampy thing like this. And since I've done all my room setup, I just make sure everything is on, make sure everything is framed the way I want it, make sure the camera settings and focus is good, and make sure my props and the camera battery grip are within reach. Then I start the camera rolling, start the sound rolling, clap my hands once or twice, start the teleprompter rolling, sit in my chair, and do the show from start to finish. I'll cut here so you can see the whole process from start to finish. Camera rolling. Sound rolling. I have my camera, I have my battery grip. Roll the teleprompter, here we go. Let's get a grip on this. Here's where my bumper is. You're in the middle of shooting something, your battery runs out of power, and now you have to stop everything and replace it with a fresh battery. Well, that sucks. The solution is a battery grip. This nifty little device attaches to your camera and allows you to use 2 batteries at the same time. That not only doubles your shooting time, but adds more places to grip your camera when filming. Here's how it works. You pull the battery out of the camera, remove the little door, yes, it's made to come off, put 2 batteries into the battery tray like this, shove this end into the camera battery compartment, twist this screw, and voila, you got double power. And it looks cool too. There are different kinds of battery grips depending on your camera, but they all do the same thing. Most even come with an extra slide-in tray, which you load AA batteries in just in case you're in a real bind for power. You can spend between $30 and $300 on these. The difference is going to be the quality, so make sure you look at the user reviews before purchasing a battery grip not made by your camera manufacturer. I've searched around and found them available on Amazon, B&H Photo, and many of the camera manufacturers' sites. I've included some links below. I have one of these on all my cameras, and I love them. I hope this helps, and thanks for watching. Cut. Sound off. Camera off. There's the show filmed all the way through, so now I can move my camera and tripod and do the insert shots I need to. And note that I don't need to bother with the sound recorder anymore and can just use the sound recorded from the camera for all my other insert shots. Why? Because the insert shots will use the sound recorder's voice sound from the footage I already shot. In other words, I already did the soundtrack. And if I do want to say something in addition to the existing voice track, I have the video mic on top of the camera and my mouth will be next to it while I'm filming, so the sound will be good. This will make sense when we put all this together. So here's the first insert shot. I want to have me doing a shot, running out of battery, and doing an oh damn. Son of a bitch! Now I'm going to do some vacuum cleaner shot for That Sucks. I have no idea if this will work, but I'll try it anyway. Now I do the here's how it works part and mount the whole thing into the camera. I don't care if I do it slowly because I can speed it up to match what I was saying later in editing. Here's how it works. You pull your battery out of the camera, remove the little door. Yes, it's made to come off. Put 2 batteries into the battery grip, end of the camera. Put this in here. Turn that on there. Put that in there like that. Turn this screw. And voila! Now I do the little AA battery tray segment. I've decided I'll just shoot putting a couple batteries in the tray and inserting it into the camera. As far as the Amazon and B&H website shots, I'll grab those later when I'm editing the footage. So, we're done shooting? No! Right now, and I mean right now, we pull the cards from the camera and sound recorder, immediately take these to the computer, and copy all the footage and sound files onto the computer. And now you can rest easy that you won't lose all your work. And that brings us to our next episode, which is editing. We're gonna stitch our show together, add graphics, do some basic color correction, add some nice touches, clean up the sound, and learn the correct settings to render everything out for YouTube. So you've got a week to finish filming your episode. If you need help, leave a comment below or send an email to thebasicfilmmaker@gmail.com. I'll see what I can do. I hope this helps, and thanks for watching. Here's how it works. You pull your battery out of the camera, move the little door. Yes, it's made to come off. Put 2 camera batteries in the battery tray like this. Shove this end of the camera battery compartment. Twist this screw, and voila, you got double a parter, and it looks cool too. There are different kinds of